days, he gives birth to something the size of a jelly bean. I can show you a picture of what one looks like. On the day that the kangaroo goes to its mother's pouch, it looks like this. That is a baby kangaroo. You can see it has no back legs, no tail, no eyes, just two little front feet and a mouth. And that is this is Phoebe. That's the first kangaroo that was born on the farm. This is her mother with the next baby after Phoebe left the pouch.
Wow.
So this is the baby that is currently in Damani's pouch out in the field. So 2-gram baby, size of a jelly bean. Crawls up, latches on to mother's teeth. The mother continually makes a chemical similar to Pitocin, which is what you give to a human female to induce labor. After they are pregnant the first time, they make Pitocin every day of their life, unless they are malnourished or dehydrated. A kangaroo is designed to birth as many babies as it can nourish and no more. So if the mother is malnourished, it shuts off production of Pitocin, but otherwise it's making it all the time. When the baby comes up and latches onto the teat, that creates a second chemical that blocks the Pitocin, so that the mom will normally just give birth back to back to back to back. So if the baby is nursing, that blocks the Pitocin. So if the first baby does not make it to the pouch within 2 days, there's no blocker on it, so mom has built up enough Pitocin that fire 2, birth from the second uterus. So every time she births one baby, she gets 2 opportunities for one to make it to the pouch and become a viable semi-embryonic state. As long as they remain latched on continually, they call it a semi-embryonic state. They latch on, they do not let go even once for a minimum of 70 up to 90 days. During that whole period of time, mom is making something more similar to colostrum than milk because she is essentially nursing an embryo. When the baby starts to nurse and release, that's when mom shifts up from making colostrum to making milk. The baby will then continue in the pouch. The first time it will stick its face out of the pouch is 6 months of age. The first time it will jump out of the pouch is 7 months of age. And here is a picture of Phoebe, that's this one, on the day that she came out of the pouch. That is what she looks like. So they go into the pouch, they've got no back legs, no tail, they come out of the pouch and they look like they're nothing but legs and tail. In the wild, they would come out of the pouch at 7 months plus or minus 1 day. In captivity, they still come out of the pouch the same. In the wild, they would go in and out of the pouch from 7 to 8 months. After about 8 months, they would be too large to fit in the pouch anymore, so they just stick their face in to drink milk. In the wild, they would be weaned at around 10 months, and the females would become part of the group, the males would be chased away. The normal family group is 1 male, 50 females. So if you want to be the 1 male, 49 have got to go, and that's the way they roll. So that all sounds fairly normal. From there it gets weird. So if the first baby does make it to the pouch, latches onto a teat, turns the blocker on the Pitocin, what then happens to the second baby? Because she's pregnant in both uteruses all of the time. So what happens to the second baby is embryonic diapause, freeze frame in utero. It will not progress, it will not regress. It will remain exactly the way it is, jelly bean size, from 33 days until forever. Days, weeks, months, or years. And then given that mother is birthing something the size of a jelly bean, and she is in heat, anytime she has either uterus open, she is in heat until she doesn't. So she will generally breed back same day, next day. So with 2 uteruses and overlapping pregnancies, with few exceptions, she will literally be pregnant every day of the rest of her life. Then so she's got 1 on diapause, she breeds back immediately within 33 days. She's got 2, both on embryonic diapause. So she has 1 on deck in each uterus. She is always ready to deliver again. So the 2 babies remain on deck, 1 in each uterus, forever. There are 2 things that make mom ready to deliver again. Number 1, if whatever baby baby she is currently nursing stops nursing, that takes the blocker off the Pitocin, fire away. Birth again 2 days later. Number 2, a kangaroo is designed to birth as many as it can nourish and no more. So if mom gets overweight, literally too high body fat content, it will double up the production of Pitocin to bypass the blocker and birth again immediately. Once it has 2, both nursing, that doubles the amount of blocker. It cannot possibly bypass the blocker twice, cannot have 3 babies. If the second one came up due to overweight and it's been a long time, the first one may have already shifted from colostrum to milk, right? But the second one needs colostrum. So one teat starts over with colostrum, second teat continues to make milk. That is the only animal I am aware of that can make 2 different products with its 2 different teats at the same time. The kangaroos are not caring mothers. If a female kangaroo were to have a mantra, that mantra would be, live to have more at all costs. If the female is being pursued by a predator and has a baby in the pouch big enough to slow it down, it may very well throw the baby on the ground for bait and ditch. Live to have more. If the female is malnourished or dehydrated, she will throw her baby away and ditch. Live to have more. The kangaroos on the whole have a brutal but effective means of surviving drought. When a drought starts, and in a desert place, a drought can last for a couple of years. When the drought starts, all of the females will throw all of the babies away. Now remember that the normal family group is 1 male, 50 females. So we're counting by the females. The 1 male is statistically insignificant. So they go into the drought 50 strong, right? If the drought lasts as long as a couple of years, which droughts and deserts can, their numbers may dwindle all the way down to 25. But as soon as the drought is over, a drought in a desert place ordinarily ends with extremely heavy rainfall. So when the drought ends, heavy rainfall, everything turns lush and green like it never is any other time in the desert. And the kangaroos all begin to gorge themselves on all the suddenly plentiful, such as they may never have seen before, lush green food. They all renourish, rehydrate near immediately. They all have one on deck in each uterus. So they all birth right away, as soon as they have a baby, as soon as they are renourished and rehydrated. Then, because they're all gorging themselves on all these suddenly plentiful food, in a short period of time, they will all be overweight. They'll all birth a second time. So their numbers would then have gone 50, 25, 50, 75, because they birth twice. So you could make the argument that a drought is a very good thing for kangaroos, because they'll come out of the drought stronger by individual, because it's the strong ones who are going to survive, obviously, right? And stronger genetically, because the weak ones are not only fail to survive, but they also are removed from the gene pool. And then their strongest kangaroos that are left will all birth twice. So they are genetically stronger, individually stronger, and larger in number than they went into the drought. So kangaroos are amazing survivors in the desert. And so you guys are welcome to pet these now while I step out and make the bottles real quick, and then we're going to do the bottles. There used to be this show called Walk with Jan. You guys probably aren't old enough to remember this. Kevin, do you remember Walk with Jan?
No.
So he was this chef that cooked everything in a wok.
Yeah.
And he would get the food all ready, and then he'd like switch the 2 woks, and he'd go, "My, wasn't that fast?" So I said I was going to step out and make the bottle screen, just finish them. I'm like, that took me back to Walk with Jan. I'm like, "My, wasn't that fast?"
Was he around? Remember the guy with the red suspenders, and he would always like make Louisiana food, and he'd be like, "We're gonna put a little bit of red wine in this, and make it in
It's gonna make a little boudin.
Yeah. It's. I'll show it to you. I'll pull it up. It's fine.
Yeah, he does that.
The little one dropped out. Say what? Yeah. I'm good. All right, so I'm gonna get the 3rd chair for you here, and then if you make a video for you while we feed the babies. Hey guys, if you're watching this online, Sloth Encounter's up in 10 minutes. And Kevin may or may not sneak out to show you the baby zebra before we start the sloths.
We did. We looked at it for about 30 minutes this morning.
Oh, okay. Figured it's probably a whole different group by now. So who
Yeah,
knows? Maybe,
true.
maybe not. All right, somebody's got to do two. Okay, there you go. One for you, here's one for you. What are your names? Lindsay, Leah, Cal. All right, here we go. All right, so they're going to put their mouth all the way onto the bottle, and then you tip it completely upside down, and then they're going to suck it start to finish. You got to give me the other one in the bottle there, sweetheart. There you go. All right, let's get this one a step closer and let her stand up. Really trying to get down under there. Lindsay, Leah, and Willie, right? Calvin. Calvin and Mom's. Calvin. Hey guys, we're here at the baby kangaroo bottle feeding at Ocoee Riverside Farm. We're here today with Lindsay, Leah, and Calvin. Lindsay is feeding the baby kangaroo Ruby. Calvin is feeding the baby kangaroo Max. And Leah, with her right hand, is feeding Phoebe. That's the first baby born here on the farm. And with her left hand, she's feeding Rachel. So Phoebe came out of the pouch July 12th. Today is October 13th. So that makes her, let's see, August, September, October. That makes her 10 months old yesterday. The Rachel with her left hand is 11 months old. When Phoebe came out of that pouch on July 12th, she weighed 3 pounds. She currently weighs right at 11. Rachel, 1 month older, weighs 16 pounds. Ruby and Max are both 15 months old. Ruby weighs 28 pounds, Max weighs 31 pounds. These guys are all red kangaroos, but the redness of a red kangaroo is a male hormone-driven trait. The one in your right hand, you got to give it a tiny bit of a squeeze there. It's that other right hand, there you go. Yep, okay, good. You can let it go now. It was stuck, it wasn't moving. All right, these guys are all red kangaroos, but the redness of a red kangaroo is a male hormone-driven trait. The females turn this bluish-gray color right away as soon as they leave the pouch. The males remain red throughout their lives unless they're neutered or very old. These guys are all still on bottles simply because that's how you get friendly kangaroos. Nutritionally, they only need these bottles to 10 months, but socially, the longer you feed them the bottle, the friendlier kangaroo you will have. The reason that more places don't feed the babies bottles for longer is it is frightfully expensive. We are at Ocoee Riverside Farm in Benton, Tennessee. It is October 13th, 2025. Guys, look up. So let me see your face on the thing. There you go. Hit a couple stills here. Leah, look this way. Leah, look this way. There you go. Excellent. Ellen. Oh, that's there you go. And Leah. Just one in the other direction. Where'd he go? Squeeze this one a little bit more. Come on, for whatever reason. She will wake me up.
Trying to get everything set up in here for you. But I have a sloth on my arm, and she is very active this morning. So it'll be just a second, but we will get there. Zoe. And we got Flash moving around. He's like, yo, where's my food? Oh man, y'all, if you could see Zoe, she is hilarious this morning. Give me just a second. All right. Hey y'all, this is Zoe, that's Flash. But Zoe's got some energy this morning because she just used the bathroom. Here's the crazy thing, guys. Sloths use the bathroom every 7 to 10 days. And when they use the bathroom, they lose 30% of their body weight. You can see Zoe's like, hey, if he's got some of that food, I want some too. Guys, we're live here at Ocoee Riverside Farm. This is Flash, that's Zoe, I'm Kevin. Come on out and visit us. It's something for everybody. Zoe's like, I'm gonna grab you. And I'm like, no, we're not. Guys, this is Flash, this is Zoe. We actually have 4 sloths here at Ocoee Riverside Farm. You gotta come out and visit. We're gonna be doing a sloth encounter here at about 10, so keep watching. Alright guys, I'm gonna let you hang out here with Flash until we get ready, but it's gonna be awesome and I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. And I think we'll actually restart Facebook. So if you're watching on Facebook, we're gonna restart this. Good morning, everybody. We're live here at Ocoee Riverside Farm. I'm holding Zoe, and that's Flash. You gotta come out and visit. We have over 150 animals, including 4 sloths, kangaroos, llamas, alpacas. Guys, there's something here for everybody. If you've ever wanted to bottle feed baby kangaroos, you can do that. And we just had a baby zebra here at the farm. Pretty awesome. So So we're going to be getting started here in just a minute. Flash is going to be doing an encounter, and I think Zoe or Chloe or Dash. So keep watching if you want to see some awesome stuff. I keep checking to see if the sloth encounter is here yet, and it's not. And Zoe is very, let's see, clear with her desire to have more snacks. So I am on snack duty, and Zoe is on eating snack duty. And this is Flash. See how he has 2 claws? Right? So he's a 2-fingered sloth, but on the back, they all have 3 claws. So pretty cool. Good morning, everybody. Where are you watching from? We're here in Benton, Tennessee, and we have a sloth that wants all kinds of snacks. Flash wants them all too, but he's going to be doing an encounter here in just a minute. Zoe, on the other hand, she can eat all day. So we got to let her have a little bit of snacks. I know, Flash. You're going to get some more here in just a minute. Flash is a sweet boy, and Zoe is very sweet also, but she likes to explore a ton. Don't you, Zoe? So she loves to try to figure out what is going on, and she loves snacks. I mean, look at this cute little face. Aw, don't bother Flash. She's always trying to examine what he's doing, aren't you? Townsend, Tennessee. You're not far at all.
Hey, the 2 for 10 o'clock both upgraded to VIP. So I'll do 10 and then you can do 10:30.
Okay. So we don't have a dual starting at 10 though, correct?
We have 2 people for VIP at 10. So
Okay.
2 with Flash at 10, and then they'll move to Zoe at 10:30. How's she this morning?
She has a lot of energy.
Yeah?
I've been trying to give her a lot of snacks.
All right.
All right, y'all, we're going to be getting started here in just a minute. We'll be going live as soon as we start.
Yeah, I'm worried about the animal. All right, we are this morning on, what are we on? TikTok, Facebook,
And YouTube.
and YouTube. And I see you have a couple of cameras there. There's one empty slot right there if you want to
put
throw
one
a
in the back?
camera on it. And I see you got your tripod. You're welcome to use that
Yeah,
too.
whatever you want to do.
We can just use that.
Okay. Here, you want to unlock it? No. Can we put it on video?
No, photo.
Okay.
You can download video later, right?
Can I just set this over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Well, as of last week, we wouldn't have had a fourth one. He just added that fourth little slot there.
You guys can go all the way in.
If you wanted to set that somewhere, you could set it there. Or if you want to use it, that's fine too. All right, guys, this is Flash. Flash is a two-fingered Linnaeus sloth. Alive in the world today, there are two-fingered sloths and three-fingered sloths. There are significant differences between them, but you guys are going to feed him his breakfast while I tell you some things that you likely don't know about a sloth. So when you give him his breakfast, you just give it to him like this. And if you lead him down with your hand just a little bit, he will hang all the way down. You're welcome to stand all the way up close to him. You're welcome to pet him. They only like to be petted on the back side, right direction. They slow like a sloth. They don't like to be rubbed. They don't like to be scratched. Just slow like a sloth. And that's true of every sloth that's here. And when you feed him his food, this is food, this is not food. This one goes in his mouth, this one does not. He's got big teeth. He's not looking to bite you, but his vision is horrible, and he can't see the difference between this and this. So do not stick your finger inside of his mouth, or my mouth. Either one of us may bite you if you stick your finger in our mouth. And I'm going to teach you some things about sloths that you likely don't know. So, alive in the world today, there are two-fingered sloths and three-fingered sloths. He is a two-fingered sloth. They all have three toes on the back feet, like this. Two-fingered have two on the front, three-fingered have three on the front. Other differences between them makes more sense if I show you in an image of a skeleton. And this is just a Google search of sloth skeleton. This is a two-fingered sloth. That's what we're looking at right here. Arms longer than body, legs longer than arms. Bunch of ribs, 46 ribs, 23 sets of ribs. 5 vertebrae in the spine between skull and shoulders. No tail at all. This is a three-fingered sloth. That's a three-fingered sloth. You see it's got 9 vertebrae in the cervical spine between skull and shoulders. It's got 3 vertebrae of a tail. Its arms are longer than its body, but its legs are much shorter than its body. It doesn't have nearly as many ribs, so this guy's built more like a truck, this one's built more like a sports car. But this is like a sports car going to get pushed across the Barrett-Jackson stage because it is not going anywhere fast ever. The two-fingered sloth, because he has all the 4 vertebrae missing from the neck and the 3 missing from the tail, are all between the hips and shoulders of the two-fingered sloth. So when he hangs down, if this is hips and this is shoulders, he can turn his whole body all the way like this till his hips and shoulders are facing the opposite direction. And the three-fingered sloth would just turn its head 270 around like an owl would. The two-fingered sloth is a little bit bigger and a little bit quicker than a three-fingered sloth is. But to describe a two-fingered sloth as quicker than any other mammal, you can only be talking about a three-fingered sloth, because they collectively are the world's slowest animals. The sloths have giant teeth, huge claws. So if you dug up a skeleton of one of these dudes in the rainforest and you're a scientist trying to figure out what this type of animal is, you would come up with the entirely wrong idea. You would almost certainly, looking at the giant teeth, giant claws, huge long arms and legs, built like a truck, you would almost certainly come up with the idea that this guy is just screaming around in the rainforest, laying waste to everything in sight. you're almost certainly not come up with the idea that this is a slow, peaceful animal that hides for all his life. Look at the teeth on these dudes, right? And look at the claws on them. And you can see the claws are just like his claws. His teeth don't look like this visibly because, you know, he's got gums and lips and everything else. But that is what's in that mouth right there. The sloths are slow. Everyone knows that a sloth is slow. But sloths are slow in ways that it likely has not occurred to you that it would even be possible for a sloth to be slow. So these sloths, if you hold a piece of food down here low, you will follow it right down. And then you get a picture stand on both sides of them. There, Bob. There you go. So then when he comes down, you're welcome to stand approximately this close to the sloth.
Okay.
And if you would like me to take the picture for you, I'm happy to. You want to get on both sides. You can stand snugged all the way right to him. He's got his hand in his mouth. So the sloth is slow not only in his movement, he's slow in his digestion, metabolism, metabolic processes. He is slow in every way that an animal can be slow. So slow in their movement. I got a shadow layer here. It's always 80 in this room. And I was geared up for 50 this morning. So slow in their movement. The sloth only moves about 10-15 feet per minute in the trees, but they are capable of moving faster than that in short bursts. When we open this guy's door in the morning and say, "Hey, Flash," it takes him probably 30 seconds to scurry down. You can see that his room goes up 25 feet in there. So to go from the very top to out here in 30 seconds, you know, that's maybe, I don't know, 40-50 feet per minute at his max speed. He does this because he likes to do this. He is not required to do this. All the smears on the glass are on his side in there. So if I'm 5 minutes late, he's in there rubbing his nose all over the door. And then he'll start to pound it like this. Because they're slow. So, and he really does that. So, the sloth, slow in their movement, slow in their digestion. A sloth is eating 10% of its body weight every single day. That's a lot of food. I weigh 200 pounds. That's me rolling into Outback and saying, "Bring me 20 of the 16-ounce porterhouse steaks, because that's what I'm going to eat today." Or if I had to hit the Golden Arches, I'm saying, "Bring me 80 of the quarter pounders, because that's on my menu today," right? So just vast amounts of food. Even though he's eating 10% of his body mass every day, he goes to the bathroom once in 7 to 10 days. So when he goes to the bathroom, it's epic. He is going to drop 1/3 of his body mass. Again, I weigh 200 pounds. I'll let you do the math on that. But we're talking a bag of dog food and a 5-gallon bucket all at one shot. I need my coffee for my voice. 1 second. So when the sloth does eventually eliminate, he comes all the way down the tree, same side of the tree. He gets his hiney right to the ground and lets it rip. And he is going to drop 1/3 of his body mass. Me at 200 pounds, that's a bag of dog food and a 5-gallon bucket all in one shot in 2 or 3 minutes. Him, that's 5 pounds in 2 or 3 minutes between solid and liquid together, but at the same time, he doesn't even tinkle between trips down the tree. When the sloth is in the top of the tree, he is basically entirely safe. A snake cannot find a sloth because the sloth has no natural scent. He has no sweat gland, scent gland, musk gland, none of that. So there is no smell to a sloth. And he has no core body temperature. The sloth's energy budget is so low that his core body temperature will be whatever the outside air temperature is. And so given that the sloth has no core body temperature different than the outside air temperature and no smell, it is literally impossible for a snake to find a sloth except by blind dumb luck. The second thing that would like to find a sloth in the top of a tree would be a large cat. But the sloth hangs on the bottom of the branch, right? And when he sees motion coming toward him, end of the branch, get to the end of the branch, and then, you know, the branch bends down under his weight.
Yeah.
Now the cat is trying to come to him along the top of the tree like this, right? And when he gets to the end, what's he gonna do? So the cat can't get to the sloth. Should the cat press the issue to the point that the branch would break and the whole mess fall 100 feet all the way to the floor of the rainforest, this sloth would almost certainly survive. They fall often, actually. And the cat would almost certainly not. And the sloth would look over at the cat and he'd say, ha, ha, and back up the tree he's going to go. And the cat will not be returning to the canopy of the rainforest. The one animal that the sloth is subject to in the top of the trees is the harpy eagle. Harpy eagles are huge. They don't require the scent or the temperature or the branch to support them. So a harpy eagle can get to a sloth in the top of a tree. More to follow on that. So even though the sloth is almost entirely safe in the top of the tree, yet he comes all the way down the tree, same side of the tree, to use the restroom in the same place that he always goes, right in the same spot, exact same spot. And so scientists sometimes have some dumb ideas on the way to some good ideas, or possibly not. The first idea on why a sloth comes all the way down the tree, same side of the tree, is that he's just a neat animal. Well, obviously this is not the Adrian Monk of the rainforest. He's not risking his life coming down the tree to where large animals are that would like to eat him because he's a neat animal. That makes no sense. So then the second idea was that he's fertilizing his own tree via his waste. Again, dumb idea. If he lets it rip from anywhere in the canopy of the tree, it's going to fall above the root system of the tree, so no effect, right? So the actual reason why the sloth comes all the way down the tree, same side of the tree, is the sloth-moth symbiotic relationship. So in the wild, not here, praise the Lord, in the wild, sloths need moths and moths need sloths. So the benefit to the moth, it is a symbiotic relationship, meaning beneficial to both sides, where parasitic would be beneficial to one, neutral or harmful to the other. The benefit to the moth, which it would be the sloth moth. There are 3 types of sloth moths. They live nowhere in the world except in the fur and in the waste pile of a sloth. If you believed in the evolution system of beliefs, you would have a desperately hard time explaining how an insect evolved up this chain and a mammal evolved up that chain. Now the two of them are inextricably locked and cannot move forward one without the other. And it is true that neither can survive without the other in the wild. The benefit to the moth is that the sloth is the food source and the living environment of the moth. The moth will live its entire life in the sloth's fur, and the only 2 reasons it will leave the sloth is 1, to lay eggs in the waste pile when the sloth comes down the tree, and 2, to drink water that pools up in the leaves in the canopy of the rainforest. The benefit to the moth is that the sloth is the food source and the living environment of the moths. The benefit to the sloth is that as the sloth comes down the tree and he gets his hiney right down there, all the moths fly down off of the sloth into the waste pile, lay their eggs, and get back to the sloth as fast as they can. Because he is only going to be down for 2 or 3 minutes and they don't want to miss the ride back to the canopy of the rainforest. So, the benefit to the sloth is 3 things. 1, as the moths live in the sloth, they eat the moss and algae that is all in the sloth's fur, and they then fertilize the same via their waste. Hey, Flash. And so more moss, more algae is more disguise from harpy eagles, which is the one animal that can get to the sloth in the top of the tree. Second benefit, as the sloth grooms himself, he licks up a certain amount of the moths themselves. That is the sloth's only protein source. So more moths, more protein. The third benefit is that as the sloth grooms himself, and this is the most important thing, as the sloth grooms himself, he licks up a certain amount of the waste of the moths. The waste of the moths is where the sloth gets his gut bacteria from that causes him to digest his food. So, without the moths, the sloth cannot digest in the rainforest. Now, we also have helpful gut bacteria. Our gut bacteria will last throughout our lives unless we take a lot of antibiotics. If we take a lot of antibiotics, we need probiotics or Greek yogurt. Either one. Fix our gut health back up. His gut bacteria will last throughout his life unless he gets cold. If he gets cold, that messes up his gut bacteria and he replenishes it via the waste of the moths. Now, he can't get probiotics. He's never heard of Greek yogurt. So he's not running out to GNC or to Publix. So the moths are where he replenishes his gut bacteria. Now here, we don't need 100 to 150 nasty little moths living on our sloth all the time. I sure don't want to hold that mess. So the reason that we don't, number one, nothing is hunting this sloth here, so he doesn't need the disguise. Number two, we feed him other sources of protein, so he doesn't need the protein. Number three, you may have noticed it's hot in here. It is never cold in here. We never ever let the sloth get cold, and if the sloth never ever gets cold, he will never need to replace his gut bacteria because his gut bacteria will remain replenishing themselves the same way ours do, as long as we don't take antibiotics. So he is very well equipped, but in the rainforest, without the moth, the sloth can't survive. Without the sloth, the moth can't survive. So pretty wild. The other things about a sloth. Some people don't realize that a sloth has ears. His ears, proportional to his